Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. Thank you.
So we have a few people here that want to ask you some questions, so we'll get started. Edward, I'm coming to you first.
Hello, how you doing? Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, Edward. Thanks very much. I'm very excited. Yeah.
I'm from below the line, so we talked to a lot of editors, including yourself. We've talked to also before. I was curious. I mean, obviously, this must have so much footage, both in the trial and in the riots and all that stuff, the protests. How much footage did you have? Were you cutting as it went along? I mean, how did you work with Aaron to kind of make sure you had everything he needed?
Well, complicated question, but let me do my best. They shot the first 8 days in Chicago, so they reenacted as best they could certain aspects of the riot scenes with the actors, and then all the other exteriors for Chicago. Then they went to New Jersey and shot the trial in a courtroom which was built in Paterson, New Jersey, in a local church. So the courtroom obviously is the spine of the movie and the core. So from there we launch off into the riots and the recreation of those events. And it wasn't entirely planned that we would use stock footage, archival material, but that grew and developed as we went through the process of editing, and we knew it would help augment. And it was really a matter of just finding a balance of how much to hear in the courtroom and how much to show, which is always the challenge, to show it and then hear about it. So we just worked back and forth to get what we felt was the right balance in not relying too heavily on the archival. We didn't want to lean into it where we were trying to really recreate to a great extent in long, lengthy chunks what was happening, but we were using it in bits and fragments. So it was a challenge. The amount of footage in terms of archival is, I wouldn't say endless, but there's a large amount out there. So my assistants, my team, we were working all along kind of in the background, which is a lot of fun to gather the material, break it down, label it, choose the selects, those little moments that seem like they might connect or be useful. But we kept revisiting that. You'd find new discoveries all the time. It's a wealth of material in the archives. As far as the production, it's an average amount. There was a relatively short schedule for production. And I'd say it was a good amount of coverage. As an editor, I'm always asking for more, but we did have enough. We had plenty, and it was more or less right in the zone for an average of this size film. So I hope that gives you enough of scope on that question.
All right, Philippa, I'm coming to you next.
Good evening. How are you? Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, hi, Philippa, I can hear you. Thanks.
Great, nice to see you and congratulations. I think even from a news standpoint, thinking of it in terms of watching this trial scene, and what was so compelling in this film was the action reaction that only an editor can really capture, and what you were just saying with respect to having enough material, from going to Abby Hoffman, from going to Tom, from going to Bobby Seale and the judge, and it was boom, boom, boom. How were you able to balance that incredible timing?
Well, it's something that I didn't think about in the moment as I was doing it, but when we stand back and analyze it, it really came about because there are only a couple people talking at once. Usually it was William Kunstler, Mark Rylance, and the judge arguing, or Bobby Seale and the judge, or one person on the witness stand. So as you said, much of the film, most of those moments are reactions. It's built in hearing what's being said, but finding a way to draw you in, draw the viewer, the audience in by feeling what other people are feeling. What are they thinking? And it can be a silent look, just a moment of somebody reacting to what's being said. And it gives you an insight and a perspective and a depth. And it's all about the texture of hearing somebody speak and then paying it off by the reactions. So I feel like we just try to balance it. And with Aaron's dialogue, sometimes it's very, very fast paced. So you're going back and forth between two characters quickly. And once you've got that going, you're free to then open up and cut away and be on somebody else because you've established the dynamic of what's happening. So I think it's also the moments of silence and the slower moments that are key for those reactions, because when you can linger and just let something land and be on somebody, when William Kunstler is arguing his point and he's failing in convincing the judge, his deflated dejection of just walking back to his seat and sitting down and then paying that off by seeing different people react. I mean, everybody gave great reactions. The actors talked about that. It was a masterclass for them, they said, in acting, because some days one person would be on the stand and they'd be filming all day long and none of the other actors would speak. So we did have those reactions because they were all in the zone. They were all committed to being present as good actors are, and always giving you that reaction that you need or you want to find. So that's what I had to work with, and I was very, very lucky.
That's great. Thank you so much. And congratulations again. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you, everybody. I'm very excited. It's quite an honor, and I'm very pleased to share this with Mikkel. It's an honor to share it with Sound of Metal, which I thought was fantastic, and would have been happy to share it with all of the nominees. Great work from everybody. So thank you very much. I'm very happy. Thanks. Bye-bye.